And then we have the CDs, and we have the books. We have Dead Doctors Don't Lie. That's another one. You need to get that book. Okay, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and the CD that goes along with it. The CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, is in 9 languages. 9 languages. Okay, it's all around the world. Over 600 million of those have been sold in 9 languages. And because people recognize from the information on that CD, regardless of the language, that they have seen this in their own families. They have seen this in their own neighbors. They have seen this in their own churchmates. They have seen this in their workmates. Okay. There's so many famous people who've been lost, who died during procedures that were unnecessary. Okay. And so this is something I urge you to, get with your longevity associate. If you don't have one of those that you're working with, you can give us a call here. We can answer your questions on the air. And just give your name, first name, and where you, what town you live in. 99.99% of the people on Earth is not going to know where you live. Okay, and so it's one of those things where we do like to know, so we kind of keep track of what's going on. And that's just type 2 diabetes. Okay, I just get breathless when I think about it. Okay, and this happens all around the world, because most of the world, and especially the industrialized world, they follow the example of the medical system in the United States. And it's one of those things where, let's see here. When you look at, let's look at here's what I'm looking for. Life expectancy. USA life expectancy, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, 73 to 75. Australia is 82.9. Japan is 84.7. Canada is 84. Okay. Let's see here. Our emergency room medical doctors, 58.7. Billionaires are 66.3. Professional athletes are 56.7. Okay. I'm telling you this because we have the capacity to live well beyond 100. The Hunzas of the Himalayan mountains, their life expectancy is 120. The record in the industrialized world was set recently in 1997. Okay, it's a French woman. Let's see here. Janine, see here. Oh, Janine.
I can't remember her name either, Dr. Wallach.
Belmest or something. It'll come to me. Okay. Janine Belmest, or Batmest, okay? And 122 years, 164 days. And this is something that when you look at France, okay, they divide it into 2. Oh, Jean Calment, that's not a B, that's a C. Jean Calment, there you go, Jean Calment. Okay. In France, the males, their life expectancy is 79.2. Females are 85.3. The average would be something like 82. And they didn't want to be in that mess with everybody else, 82.2. So they're saying, oh yeah, we have part of our population lives to be 85.3. Well, that's the ladies, okay, in France. But Jean Calment set the record again in 1997. So you got to look at that. And the Hunzas, their life expectancy is 120. And so, and again, the one that really freaked me out was the professional athletes is 56.3. 56.3. Why is that? Well, that's because they sweat, they exercise, and they don't supplement properly. And so we do have a CD. Exercise without supplementation is suicide. You see this on the newspaper, on the news, on TV. It's on your car radio when you're driving. Oh, a 20-year-old football player just died. 18-year-old basketball player just died. A 28-year-old soccer player just died. And when you look at that, they're all dying of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease, or a stroke, or ruptured aneurysm, all of which are nutritional deficiencies. And so this is not difficult. So you put oil in your car, you put fluid in your transmission, you brake fluid, you do the antifreeze in your radiator in your car, you use the windshield wiper fluid, in the reservoir for windshield wiper system. Okay. You don't just put dirt from Texas in there because there's bound to be some oil in it. Okay. And so you have to do the same thing for yourself. You have to be really, really, really proactive. Take all 90 essential nutrients. And then the secret sauce is if you have any of the specific diseases, we have secret sauces for. Now, yesterday, we had Theo Ratliff on with us, and he has so positively impacted the world of sports, okay, because he had so many things going wrong with him. Every joint in his body was just about gone, and he lost his contracts with the Atlanta Hawks. Make a long story short, we came up with the, let's see here, we came up with the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him, okay, which was our Healthy Start Pack, plus the Glucogel, which is collagen from beef. And within weeks, he was a new man. Within a month, he was looking around, and in a couple of months, he got another position, and he played for 11 years, made $100 million. And so he really spent a lot of time. You can go back and watch this program from yesterday, and he really told his story and how many wonderful things he's done. He bought an institution, okay, for kids who were troubled kids, and they could go there for free and learn how to straighten out their lives and everything with the diet and behavior and so forth. So I really have to give him a lot of credit for doing that with a significant amount of his money. And so now, you know, he's really, really working hard with other young athletes all around the world. And so that's our Theo Ratliff story. And that included diabetes, okay? And so it's one of those things where we're just so excited about what's going on because the world needs this information, okay? We need these 90 essential nutrients. We were given them, okay? And so it's one of those things where nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket on the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And when we went from wood and coal as fuel to electricity, we lost our source of minerals that we've been getting for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, because wood ashes and coal ashes are 98% minerals and 2 or 3% carbon. 1936, the U.S. Senate came out and said, U.S. Senate Document 264, there's no longer sufficient amounts of nutritional minerals in our farm cells here in America to support long and healthy human life. The U.S. Senate said that in 1936. That was their U.S. Senate Document 264. I urge you to look that one up and you know, say, come on, Wallach, you make that up? No, look it up. U.S. Senate Document 264. Okay, with that said, I'm going to turn this back over to Rebecca now, and let's see if we can help some people.
Well, Dr. Wallach, our first question that's coming up in regards to blood sugar is, why would you check urine and not blood?
Okay, when your blood sugar gets to a certain point, it overflows, okay, and it comes out in your urine. And some people just don't like to stick their finger, okay? You know, unfortunately, we don't have an oral test, okay, for that, but we do have the test strips for urine and the test strips for blood. And so you might start out with the test strips for urine, and if you're getting sort of a result, then you might want to close your eyes and have somebody stick you in the finger and get that drop of blood.
It's not that bad, Dr. Wallach. I had to do it for years, and I had to do it to my sister too. It's not that bad. It really isn't.
Okay.
But
this is easily resolved. Okay. Type 2 diabetes is easily resolved. Type 1 diabetes is easily managed, but type 2 diabetes is easily resolved and prevented. Both of them are preventable. Both of them are preventable. They're not genetic in any way, shape, or form. They're not autoimmune in any way, shape, or form. They're a simple mineral deficiency disease.
Now, when you're talking preventable for type 1, though, Dr. Wallach, that would have to be through mama's nutrition as the baby pre-conception and during development. Is that correct?
That is correct. Now, if the baby's getting, you know, being breastfed, and the mom is taking all her vitamins, minerals, and staying away from the bad food so she can absorb stuff, the baby's going to be getting some of these nutrients properly through the breast milk. But we also have what we call kids toddy. And even though the baby's getting breast milk, I would give the kid one meal a day, our kids toddy, because it does have, you know, the minerals in there, including the secret sauces. And so you want to do everything you can But a lot of these things are kind of coming back now. Things like sudden death syndrome are coming back, and it's primarily, they're screaming it's primarily listed in the Black community. Well, why is that? Well, it's not a genetic thing, okay? And so why is it coming back in the Black community? Well, it's a financial thing. And you remember just, I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago, we're having trouble keeping baby formulas on the shelf because they couldn't get the raw materials. And people were just running out and buying cow's milk or whatever it was, goat's milk, to give their babies. And so many babies were dying of sudden death syndrome. Doctors were saying, oh, the mothers are laying on them and suffocating them. But they were dying of a deficiency of a very specific nutrient. This is the same thing that these young athletes in their teens and 20s and 30s are dying from: hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. Dr. Milan and I, we did 1,700 autopsies at Qishan University in Heilongjiang province, China. And it's the same thing. They all died of what's called Qishan's disease, which is a deficiency of that nutrient. Okay. And so it was published in 3 languages: Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. And for that, I got the Klaus Schwarz Award. Okay. Along with the let's see here, is the
Lifetime achievement
yeah.
on natural medicine and philanthropy.
Okay, now that's from the United Nations. Okay, that was the United Nations. That was 2015. The Klaus Schwarz Award. There you go. That's 2011. Okay, and that was for cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and sudden death syndrome. And so I'm very, very proud of those 2 awards, because they're a mark that shows that we were able to save millions of kids all around the world with just a little bit of information, a little bit of work, and publish it and prove it over and over and over again. And so I would say we've saved millions of kids. And of course, my great attorney, Jonathan Moore, and myself, we sued the FDA in federal court 8 times just on that one subject, get these minerals put into the baby formulas. And as soon as we got it all passed, we won every case, and all those minerals were put into the baby formula. Suddenly now, cystic fibrosis went away. You don't hear about that anymore. Muscular dystrophy went away. You don't hear about that one anymore. You're hearing about cystic fibrosis. Muscular dystrophy went away. And of course, we do have our, what is it, a podcast? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we have lots of podcasts, Dr. Wallach.
Well, we have the one that's called The Muscular Dystrophy Story.
We have the muscular dystrophy story. That's right.
Okay.
They can find that on Rumble. If you go to Critical Health News, you'll find the muscular dystrophy story with Dr. Wallach and also Marvin Ropp. They're on Rumble, also on YouTube, and on the Critical Health Facebook page. So,
and so when Jerry Lewis brought that information, we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. The Muscular Dystrophy Association fired Jerry Lewis and shut down his telethon, just like the foundation at the Emory University at the Yerkes Primate Center. When I found the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, they fired me because I said it wasn't genetic. And Jerry Lewis told them it wasn't genetic. They fired him. Okay. And so this just tells you that a lot of these institutions really aren't there, as they're saying, to find the answer. They're there to, continue to generate a stream of income. And if you find a cure where they're not needed anymore, or they have to change what they're doing, they don't like that.
Well, it makes you wonder, Dr. Wallach, with all of these different organizations that are raising money for different things that you have already found the cause and cure for.
That's correct.
And then they reject it. Are they really looking for what they're saying they're collecting money for?
Okay, now
billions of dollars.
Well, the ones that we spent over $1 million of my own money, okay, which was in my savings account, built up over years and years and years and years. We spent that $1 million with these court cases to get those nutrients put in the baby formulas. The doctors kept interfering. They said, no, all those minerals are toxic. You can't give those babies, those minerals are toxic. And so we proved it to a federal court, okay, that it wasn't toxic. And as soon as we got them in the baby formulas, guess what? It all got quiet, and the babies weren't dying of muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis and sudden death syndrome anymore.
It's crazy. So I know that there's kind of been phases where there's been a lot of babies that are born with respiratory distresses,
Mhm.
where their lungs are not developing, or even after birth, nothing, I mean, everything seems to be fine. And then they start having chronic lung diseases.
Okay, well, this is a nutritional deficiency because remember, the baby formulas didn't have those things in there. And so you have to provide them. And that's why we came up with the 90. Every person, whether you're, an embryo, whether you're a newborn baby, whether you're 130 years old and you're in middle age, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. And if you get the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie, you get the book Epigenetics, you get the book The Wallach Revolution, you get the book Hell's Kitchen, get the book Rare Earths and Cures. There you go, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. The CDs are in 9 languages, okay? And these things will give you all the information you're looking for, okay? You don't have to spend time going around through the libraries and looking through hundreds of books and everything. These books and the CDs associated with them cover 600 different health issues. When you take these books together, we're talking about 600 different health issues, okay? And then, of course, we have 5,000 products. Some of the products are in liquids, powders, and pills, and tablets, and chewables, because people, I don't like to take all those tablets. So we made the liquids for them. And so that way, we're making things available based on people's choices of how they're willing to and prepared to take supplements. Okay, we're trying to make it as available as possible. And so this is something that's always an ongoing thing. And so we're constantly coming up. That's why we came up with the kids' toddy when they were having trouble keeping Infamil and Similac on the shelves because they couldn't get the raw materials. And so, every family, if you're thinking about getting pregnant or sexually active in your childbearing years, you need to have a couple of bottles of those kids' toddy in the house. Okay. Even if you're going to breastfeed the baby, 1 meal a day should be the kids' toddy to make sure that the mother's absorbing everything and supplementing with everything so that it comes through the breast milk. But it doesn't hurt to have another outside source for 1 meal a day. And that way you have a little bit of insurance. Okay. But asthma, very simple nutritional deficiency. It's not genetic. Okay. All those things are, asthma goes like in days. It's very simple disease.
Like you and I, when we're taking our supplements, Dr. Wallach, we take them with our meal for the most part.
Yes, take them
We're
with meals.
taking our 90 essential nutrients
Mhm.
that include the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the osteo effects, the essential fatty acids, plus the secret sauces.
Yeah. Well, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, okay, or even the Healthy Start Pack. Well, the Healthy Start Pack has 90 essential nutrients in it. The Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has 215 nutrients, the core of which is the 90. And then, of course, I know it's going to freak everybody out, but I take, depending on what's going on, I take 45 to 50, doses twice a day, or some cases 3 times a day, 45 to 50 of our different products. And we have 5,000 different products. Okay. But
I use more products than you do, Dr. Wallach.
Well, that means you're
because
smart.
mine is with my hair, my makeup, my skincare, my perfumes.
It's well, lipstick's not my thing, but I do take hair, skin, and nails. I do take the hair, skin, and nails. As a hair color loss is not due to aging, it's due to a nutritional deficiency. And that same nutritional deficiency that causes hair color loss causes ruptured aneurysms, okay, and ruptured ligaments and tendons and connective tissues and skin issues. So you definitely want to be taking that hair, skin, and nails. Make sure you're staying away from the bad stuff to maximize absorption. Your intestines should look like a shag rug instead of a plastic tube. And so you want lots of absorptive surface. And all of these things are discussed, again, in the 75-year trail of information in the book. It's the second edition, okay, the Wallach Revolution. The Wallach Revolution, the first edition and the second edition was created by the committee
So it's the Citizens Committee for Better Medicine.
Oh, the Citizens Committee for Better Medicine. It made up of medical doctors, veterinarians, attorneys, successful people in the business of all kinds, but they just kept themselves. Most people didn't know who they were. They just said it's a Citizens Committee. Okay, and they were given those volume 1. They were giving it away. It's an unauthorized story of my life.
Biography of a Medical Genius. And this, folks, is how you tell if you have first or second edition, because it's kind of hard to tell from the front. But if you look at the back, we've got the now authorized biography of a medical genius. But the content inside has been modified a little bit. Plus, in the back of the new one, you also get to see a list of Dr. Wallach's publications so that you can get an idea of all the things that he's done, including a summary of each one and where you can get those, which is drjwallach.com, drjwallach.com.
And of course, in the new one, we have Pat Boone doing, was it the foreword of the book?
I was in the old one too. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome because Pat Boone did the foreword of this book, The Wallach Revolution. Danny Glover did the, what is it called? The post forward?
Yes.
The post forward. Plus, we have many other people that are sharing their experiences, their testimonies on what they have experienced when following Dr. Wallach's message. So, of course, this was written before I started with longevity. Otherwise, I would have fought hard to have mine in there, but I think I'm doing all right, being able to host you Monday through Friday from noon to, well, it's 12 to 12:50. We got to cut it off on that 12:50, Dr. Wallach, to keep you on time for your schedules. But we do have hands that are up, Dr. Wallach. And folks, if you're watching the live stream out on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook, you are always welcome to join us here in the Zoom meeting where we are taking questions live. We have a live audience. We have a nice assortment of people from around the world, and that's at dailywithdoczoom.com. Now, we have a question here from somebody on YouTube, and they've got lots of questions, Dr. Wallach, but one that was posted yesterday that we didn't get to that I want to get to today is, how do you overcome depression and how do you improve mental health? So is it different for male or female?
No.
So for somebody that is 150 pounds, I know blood sugar, what we were just talking about in the beginning of the show, can affect depression and mental health. Nutritional deficiencies. Dr. Wallach, what would be your recommendation and protocol for somebody who is experiencing depression and mental health issues?
Okay, one of the things you might want to do is get the book Rare Earths Cures and get a hair analysis and find out if they're absorbing. Okay, the hair analysis will tell you immediately. As soon as you open it up, you can tell in 0.3 of a millisecond whether you're absorbing, because of all the numbers are below the bottom line. That means you're not absorbing. Okay, your nutritional minerals should be scattered all over the chart. Okay, depending on how much you're getting from each of your food and supplements and so forth. And then it also gives you a second chart on toxic minerals. Okay, because toxic minerals can cause depression, okay, as well as nutritional deficiencies. And so we need to find that out. Okay, so a hair analysis will be extremely useful. You don't need a doctor's approval to be able to do this. And it's within everybody's financial means. And so you go to, again, drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com, get a hold of this book, Rare Earths Cures, get that hair analysis. It tells you exactly how to do it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there, because the laboratories won't run the test without it. And some of the laboratories, they will throw in a list of their vitamins and minerals. but their multiples, might have 6 vitamins in it or something like that. So don't go that direction. Contact us before you make your decision what you're going to do. Then also, you can immediately get rid of all the bad foods. And if you don't know what that means, we have the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of that kind of stuff. It's really quite the book. And so that's very, very important. Get that information correct. And then you need 1 healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight, and take a full dose twice a day if you weigh 150 pounds or more. If you weigh 300, 400, 500 pounds, I'd get 3. So you have 3 doses a day, okay? But when you weigh 150 to 220, something like that, 250, I'd go ahead with 2 healthy brain and heart packs. Then we have the Synaptive. Take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. That's a couple of bottles a month. And they're designed to give the brain cells what they need to be able to talk to their neighbor brain cells so they can make communication and make things correct. Also, we have the Memory FX. You get the Memory FX, okay? Take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. I do that. It's one of those things where it helps the brain function properly. And then I also like the MSM. Okay, take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month. If you weigh 100, well, if you weigh 100, more than 120, 130 pounds, I'd get 2 bottles a month. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. Otherwise, you can take 3 twice a day if you weigh less than that. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. I also like the I-26, okay, which helps you rebuild the myelin, the white matter of the brain. So all of your electrical signals can go from your brain all the way down to your toes without short circuiting. Now, the myelin of the brain is 100% cholesterol. Yeah, okay. Myelin makes up 25% of your brain weight, 25% of your spinal cord weight. And I take, I like the chewables or taste like vanilla. Little kids like them, so I take them at noon. I have 3 eggs for breakfast and 3 eggs for dinner time, either soft poached or soft scrambled in butter. Okay. Soft boiled, not hard boiled, not fried. And that way I'm getting the cholesterol I need to maintain my brain properly. If you're taking anti-cholesterol drugs and you're staying away from eggs and cholesterol containing foods, you could wind up like Bruce Willis with FTD, frontal temporal dementia, which is a very interesting type of Alzheimer's disease, which just affects the front part of the brain, the temporal parts of the brain, but the back part of the brain's good. Okay. And so if anybody has any contact with his organizations, okay, Bruce Willis, let him know that we believe we can actually reverse his problems with that FTD, because it's not a genetic thing. It's not an aging thing. It's just a simple nutritional deficiency disease, which we can reverse. Okay, we've been doing it for years. We didn't know, they didn't have a name for it back then. Okay, but get that hair analysis, get on all these nutrients, and we can do great things. So I hope that helps.
Yes, so thank you so much. And they just said thank you also. So awesome. They're watching live on YouTube. And you also answered the question for obesity. So obesity is something that Dr. Wallach, throughout my life, I never had to worry about. But then a pregnancy hit, it messed up with my hormones. I had already had all these degenerative type conditions that I was told were genetic. I just have to live with. But when I got on your program, that first 3 months, I lost 20 pounds, and I wasn't even trying to lose weight. I was trying to get rid of the pain and the migraines. And in the first 90 days, I was successful. And over the next 7 years, I've lost 110 pounds.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm getting close to my goal. But able to do things now without pain that I couldn't do when I was 30 years old, Dr. Wallach. And that was 20 some years ago. So I'm proud of my age. I'm excited to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah, you look like
now.
you're in your
And
30s. You look like you're in your 30s. You're 50 years old. That's a beautiful thing.
yeah, I'm over 50. So thank you for saving me a couple years, Doc. You're so sweet. Let's go to the first hand up. That's up, Dr. Wallach and Karen. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm calling for one of my clients. I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania. She is a female. She's 4'11", 171 pounds. She urinates about 5 to 6 times a day. 2 of them times are at the night. She has a lot. Just got her health evaluation. She has lymphedema in her right leg and foot. She has neuropathy. She has bone on knee. She has a frozen right shoulder. She uses a walker, and she got osteomyelitis, like it's
Myelitis?
like infections in her vertebrae. She has medullary kidneys are full of stones. She has no gallbladder.
Medullary. Mhm.
Yeah, she has no
Okay.
gallbladder.
Okay, we only have moments here, so let me get to this.
Yeah,
She weighs 170 pounds. She's like 80 pounds overweight, okay?
yeah, I know.
And so this is due to very simple thing. She has osteoporosis of the skull. That's why she's urinating so many times during the day and at night. Okay, because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling the urinary bladder to urinate. She doesn't have a prostate problem because she's a girl. Girls don't have prostates, right? So at say 170 pounds, I want her to give up all the bad foods. She needs to get that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, so she knows exactly what she's got to give up. Okay, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, and had 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then she needs to get a hold of that book, the Wallach Revolution, okay, the Wallach Revolution. And that's going to show her that people with her problems were able to get rid of the problem just with supplementation and eating correctly, okay? Then I want her to take at her body weight. She needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, 2 full doses a day, full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. Then she needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and dinner time. And they're going to help rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue in her skull, in her disc between her vertebrae, on her cartilage and her knees and her hips and all that kind of stuff. And again, the story of Pat Boone and Danny Glover and Andy Young, people who had serious knee and hip problems, they were going to get double knee and double hip replacements, and we put them on the program that I'm suggesting for her. And they regrew everything. They didn't have to have the surgeries and all that kind of stuff, just with the nutrition. Okay. And then she also needs to have, I'd have her take the Synaptive. She can take 3 of those twice a day. Okay, it'll be 2 bottles a month. She needs the I-26. I'd have her take 1 or 2 of the chewables in the middle of the day. The vanilla tastes pleasant. Also, she needs to eat, say, 2 to 3 eggs with soft yolks twice a day to rebuild the brain and the spinal cord and all the peripheral nerves and so forth. And then I want her to take our ultimate enzymes. She can take our ultimate enzymes, take 1 or 2 of those, save 5 to 10 minutes before each meal with a couple ounces of water. And I think I covered all the, she needs a colloidal silver for any underlying chronic infections and things. She needs to put 2 droppers full of colloidal silver under her tongue when she wakes up, 2 droppers full of colloidal silver on her tongue, like 10 minutes before breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and again at bedtime. And that way, any chronic infections with viruses, yeast, bacteria. Okay.
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 All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And thank you, Karen, also for coming on with us today. Let's go right into the next question, Dr. Wallach, or the next hand that is up. And Cameron, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Dr. Wallach, how are you?
Okay, sir.
All right, I'll try to make this quick. I know you got to go, but my aunt, she is 55 years old. She is 5'6" and 130 pounds, and she has horrendous pain under her ribs on her right side. Just a tad bit of her backstory. She had endometriosis, and her ovaries were stuck to her colon, and the doctors had to remove actually part of her colon, and years later had to remove her gallbladder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And she weighs now 150 pounds.
130 pounds, 5'6", and she's 55 years old.
Okay. So I'm getting an echo there, so I don't know what's going on there,
I
Rebecca.
muted Cameron, so I think he might have two devices going, Doc. So go ahead now.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. So she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. Okay, Dr. Wallach's cooking out the bad foods. That book has 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Then she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose thing twice a day. She needs, let's see here, 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That's going to help her regrow cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between her vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, and her knees and her hips and her back and vertebrae. And we want her to have the ultimate enzymes. So you can take two of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle. I like to use that because we do have bile in it. We take bile from the gallbladders of cattle that go for slaughter, and we put them in that. So we call it the gallbladder in a bottle for people who've had their gallbladders removed. Okay. And let's see here. Does she have any blood sugar problems? Any high blood pressure problems?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Well, let's start there. Let's see here. I think that covers the waterfront. Okay. And don't forget, for energy, she needs the rebound or sports drink. Okay. At 170 pounds, she could have 2 a day. I wouldn't have her take one after 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon because it'll keep her up all night. But they have like 30% of the caffeine and 30% of the sugar that Red Bull has. Red Bull has only 1 mineral, magnesium, and we have 75 minerals. Okay, that's going to help her rebuild everything. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Cameron. And Dr. Wallach, I think we have time for one more question that we have here in the chat.
Okay.
And Steve's father is 90 years old. He is 125 pounds. He's having a hard time walking. He is on dialysis with diabetes that's being controlled by diet. And of course, the dialysis is for low functioning kidneys. He's wanting to know, is it possible for his dad to get off dialysis? And well,
Yes.
he adds in
We
there
only
that
got
it's
seconds here, so let me
kidney
take it.
failure.
Okay, it's not a genetic thing. Okay, so he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the carbonated water got to go. Alkaline water, carbonated water got to go. And then, and all the diet drinks got to go because it's carbonation that's bad as well as the sugar and the caffeine. All right. And then, let's see here. At 125 pounds, I want him to have 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, a half a dose of everything twice a day. And then I want him to, let's see here, take, he's got diabetes, correct? So he needs 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. So he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. If he's on medication, don't cold turkey off of that, but as the blood sugar drops, you can slowly reduce the medication. And if he's on dialysis, which he said, he needs 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. That's 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And take 2 or 3 of those before each meal, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And if there's any high blood pressure involved, that will, that high blood pressure will go away. And the, let's see here, the dialysis, I've had them where they hadn't urinated in 10 years. They're on dialysis 6 days a week. And in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating. So they dropped the dialysis down to 3 days a week. And then in 2 more weeks, they're totally off the dialysis. And so, and going back to normal, you got to stay. And there's all these good things are going to happen to him, even at 90 years old, because none of these are genetic, none are autoimmune, none of them are due to aging. They're all due to nutritional deficiencies. You give him the nutrients, and even at 90, he can heal, but he will have to stay on this for the remainder of his life. And, you know, let's keep him going to 110, 115, 120, but he's going to have to stay on all the good stuff, and he's going to have to continue to avoid all the bad stuff.
That is for sure, Dr. Wallach, because we can't expect to get different results if we continue to do the things that are causing the issue in the first place, right?
That's correct. Well said.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. I know that you need to get on to your next engagement. We appreciate you, sir. And we will see you again tomorrow.
Okay.
So folks,
God bless, team.
yes, God bless you, Dr. Wallach. And I do have a pretty amazing team. Ruth Ellen Sanchez, if you've got gray hair from today, I'm right there with you. We appreciate all that you do and making sure that we get the live streams going with audio, with picture, and everything looks like my dear friend and co-host Phyllis says, just right. So thank you so much. And Sherry, thank you for helping get everybody into the room so that they can also hear this message. And Marilyn, all of the things that you were posting in the chat. And folks that are watching the live stream or watching a replay, that's one of the benefits of coming on with us live here on dailywithdoc.zoom.com, Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time each time, is you get to see all of the information that is also shared in the chat for answering questions, filling in exactly what Dr. Wallach is saying, because yes, I know he speaks very quickly, and I need to put in the warning, be prepared to listen quick, because that's just the way it is. But for those of you who do not listen quick, because I know I don't type or write fast enough compared to what he speaks, we do have the replays that are out there on our channels, and that is the Critical Health News channel on YouTube, on Rumble, Critical Health on Facebook, but also on dailywithdoc.com. For those of you who have been invited to this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for taking the time and caring enough to share this program with you. Ask them if they have a special way that they place their orders. And if there is nobody to thank, if nobody shared this program with you, you found it on your own, you're part of our newsletter that you've been following for decades, and you are ready to say, okay, I am worth the investment. It is time for me to put myself first and start getting my health back, or stop what might be progressing in your health. Go to dailywithdoc.com. You'll find a store there. You'll find our replays there. You'll find additional helpful information. And you will also find Dr. Wallach's Good Foods, Bad Foods list. If you have never spoken to anybody about longevity, Dr. Wallach, or the products before, feel free to use the contact us there on the website, or we have an 800 number with a call team standing by at 855-949-3377. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am honored to be one of the certified holistic health coaches spreading this message to the world. You can join us also. And if you would like more information about that, go to coachwithbecca.com. Until next time, bye for now.